Well, life, as John Lennon said, is what happens to you, I think, when you're planning on doing something else. And I met Spencer Johnson at a cocktail party in San Diego. He was a children's book writer. I don't know if you ever remember the Value Tales series, The Value of Honesty, the story of Abe Lincoln, The Value of Censors of Humor, Will Rogers. And my wife met him first, and she hand carried him over and said, "You guys ought to write a children's book for managers. They won't read anything else." And he was working on a 1-minute scolding book with a psychiatrist and, in child rearing. And I invited him to a seminar. He stood in the back and he laughed and everything. Came running up and he said, "Forget parenting. Let's do the 1-minute manager." And since he was a children's book writer and I was a storyteller, we decided to do a parable. And it came out on Labor Day, 1982. Next week, it was on the bestseller list, in the New York Times, because we were on the Today Show. Never left for 2 or 3 years, and now it's over 30 years later, still on bestseller list, and so that really kind of launched my career of writing parables and all. But as I said, this other book is kind of a parable of my story, but it's been fun, and I've worked with Barrett Kohler on a number of books, two with Mark Miller, who was the head of training for Chick-fil-A, one called The Secret, what a great leaders think and do, which has really done well. They serve. And then we wrote a follow-up book called Great Leaders Grow, because if you stop learning, you might as well lie down and let them put the dirt on you. And also, I'm always looking for ways to communicate with people in a way that can make a difference in their lives. And you know what? When I work on these kind of things, it helps me too. So it's not just about me saying, "I'm going to help all you idiots out there." Every time I work on a book, it helps me get down the road a little bit myself.